Hey everybody, welcome back to another Beard Guys video. Today we are taking a deep dive into the abilities and gadgets of the new Delta Force operator, Raptor. I've been doing extensive testing in operations mode to figure out exactly how each of his abilities works so that you can know how to play effectively as him, but also how best to play effectively against him and how to counter some of his abilities. Raptor has created a lot of pushback from the community, to put things mildly, so let's take a look at exactly why some of his abilities are so broken. So all of Raptor's abilities are quite intertwined. There's a lot of crossover between them, but we're going to start by talking about his first gadget, which is Silverwing. This is his main drone. It's not his ultimate ability. This is the bird drone you can deploy. You fly it around manually and it's going to ping enemies. It's going to ping any enemy within its field of view, which is pretty wide, and it's got a 90-meter maximum scan range. If they're outside of that 90-meter range, not going to scan enemies. If they're within it, then it's going to scan them. It's going to ping them with a red mark. That's also going to show them on the map as well as on your HUD, and that same information is shown to your teammates as well. It's got an 80-meter maximum altitude, and it has 20 seconds of fuel, which means it can fly roughly about 200 meters in a straight line, or you can fly it around all wiggly and go inside buildings and through windows and stuff like that. Its cooldown is 65 seconds, but due to the fact that that cooldown begins as soon as Silverwing is deployed, when you take away the 20 seconds of fuel usage, you actually only have 45 seconds to wait until you get another usage of it once you've used it one time. On top of that, unlike all the other recon abilities in the game, it's available right at the start of a round. You don't have to wait 65 seconds from the start of the game to use it. You can instantly deploy it, send it up in the air, and check if there's any enemies nearby. In order for it to tag enemies, it needs a direct line of sight, so if you're able to take a bit of cover behind some hard cover, you can try and evade it if you can get inside a building behind a solid wall, but it can still scan you through soft cover like bushes, tree canopies, stuff like that. Even if they can't physically see you with the camera, if you're within that 90-meter range, it's still going to ping you. You don't have to have the camera centered on the players to ping them. It can be anywhere on the field of view on the entire screen and it can still ping people. On top of this, it can also drop an EMP grenade on top of players. You can press a button to drop one of those. We'll talk about the EMPs a little bit more in just a minute. And it also has a self-destruct mode where you can press a button and it will fly much faster. And upon impact, it's going to explode. If it deals a direct hit to an enemy, it's going to deal 30 hit points of damage. And that's also going to explode an EMP on them, so they're going to suffer all the debuffs of the EMP grenade. These EMP grenades briefly inflict dizziness, which will knock you out of ADS for a moment, and also slows down your ADS speed. And then on top of that, you have a 15-second EMP effect, which basically means you can't use any electronic equipment. This affects almost every operator gadget, as well as laser sights and electronic sights on guns. And as well as the 30 HP damage, it almost always inflicts an injury effect as well that you're going to have to heal. The EMP that's used when you self-destruct the drone is also not taken from your count of other EMP grenades. One of his other gadgets is 2 EMPs. So if you use an EMP to self-destruct in the drone, you still have your other 2 EMPs to throw as well. One last thing you can do with it is you can attach things to it from another operator like Shepard's Sonic Trap or Viren C4. You can actually attach these to the bird and then fly in and explode them at enemies. How do you counter Silverwing? Well, there's not really a huge amount you can do. It can be shot down. It takes 2 shots with a rifle usually to shoot it, but it can be quite tricky to hit, particularly on console, on a controller. EMP effects will destroy it, so if you're playing as a Raptor as well, you can throw an EMP grenade, that will destroy it. Shepard's ultimate has no effect on it. It could just fly through that. You can hear it when it's close. Silverwing gives off a sound, so you know it's there. You know it's in the air. You also know if you've been pinged by it. It's going to alert you, give you a noise and a notification on screen to tell you you've been pinged. And it also can't ping Nox whilst he is using his ultimate ability, but they can still see him physically with their camera. But if he has his ult active, then the bird won't ping him, so you won't be able to ping his location for teammates. So next, we'll quickly talk about his EMP grenades. We kind of touched on this already. This is his second gadget. He has 2 EMP grenades. There's a 55-second cooldown for each one, and you can throw these up to around 40 meters. As mentioned before, these will deal an EMP effect that lasts for 15 seconds, disabling most operator abilities and gadgets, and also electronic equipment on your weapons, as well as inflicting the dizziness debuff that will also slow down your ADS, but that only lasts for a few seconds. These can also affect you through walls, even through 2 solid walls. They have about an 8-meter radius of effects around them, so pretty large and pretty hard to avoid if you're fighting in a building. Going into another room, hiding behind a wall is going to have no effect on it. They can still hit you with those through that solid surface. There's not really any counter to these. You can't get rid of the effect once you've been hit by it. You just have to wait out the 15 seconds and deal with it. So next, let's talk about Raptor's ultimate ability, Wingcam. So this is another drone, a smaller drone, deploys a spy camera that's going to attach to enemies, and you can attach it to them either by using their trail, where you're following their footprints, or scanning containers, which we'll talk about in just a minute, or you can do it via Silverwing, the big bird main drone. You have to be quite close to do it with Silverwing. You can't do it from miles away, but if you're flying close to a target, it'll give you an option to deploy the camera and attach the Wingcam. When you attach this to an enemy, it's going to mark the enemy position at regular intervals, so it'll ping them every few seconds. It does this up to a maximum of 5 times, and it has a 90-second cooldown on this ultimate ability. Those pings are going to show for you and also for your teammate. It shows them on the map as well, so you can see exactly where they are, not just the direction. And when you attach this camera to an enemy, you can also switch to the camera POV and back again for a few seconds, so you can see this view from over the shoulder of the enemy and see exactly what they can see, and you can go back and forth between this a couple of times. When enemies get hit with the Wingcam, they get notified so they know that it's hit them, and it tells them when it's pinging their location as well. After the 4th ping, the affected enemy can actually destroy the camera by holding H on PC, or LB and X on Xbox, or L1 and square on PS5. It's the same button as putting out fire, and if you do this quickly enough, you won't get pinged for the 5th time, and it will briefly reveal Raptor's position to them, but it just tells you the direction. It doesn't show you on the map, so you don't really know the distance. You just know roughly the direction that they're in. It also alerts the Raptor that you've destroyed it, and keep in mind that at the moment on console it seems to say the button incorrectly on screen. On Xbox it says hold X. That's not correct. It's LB and X to destroy the drone. This drone can find enemies at any distance and travels anywhere on the map in around 2 seconds, which at 500 meters, which I tested, works out almost 600 miles an hour or 900 kilometers an hour, just shy of the speed of sound. This drone is unaffected by EMPs, it's unaffected by Shepard's ultimate, it has a completely unlimited range, so you can attach it to someone on the other side of the map. Nox's ultimate does have a small effect on it, it doesn't block it completely, but if Nox has its ultimate active, you can still deploy the Wingcam onto him, but it won't actually ping him on the HUD or the map while his ultimate is active, but you can still go into the over-the-shoulder view, so you can switch to the camera view and see where the Nox is, but you can't actually ping him on the map until his ultimate ability is ended. So last but not least, let's talk about his passive trait. This is his trace tracker, and this kind of brings everything together into one huge pile of broken overpoweredness. This is his passive ability that lets him track footsteps and also, more importantly, possibly looted containers. When enemy players move around the map, they're going to leave around 5 footsteps, then a small gap of a similar size, and then another 5 footprints. These footprints are going to appear red, and they're going to last for up to 6 minutes after an enemy has been there. An enemy Raptor can go up to these, and they can scan them just by looking at them for a moment, and when you scan a red footprint, it's going to turn yellow to tell you that you scanned it, and then it's going to give you some intel on that player that you've scanned. It's going to tell you how long ago the footprint was left, what the operator game tag is, what the operator type is, whether they're a Nox or a Luna or whatever. Going to tell you their armor level, their helmet level and vest level, whether they're alive, extracted or dead, and also their current distance from you, ranging from very close, medium long. Very close is basically within 20 meters, medium close is sort of 50 or 60, and then it's kind of long for further than that. This intel only updates when you do a new scan. You have to go and find new footprints to get updated information. So you can basically run around the map following anyone pretty much anywhere you like, as long as they left those footprints within the last 6 minutes. When you've scanned any footprint, you can also then attach your Wingcam to them as long as it's recharged. So this is literally any footprint on the map. It doesn't matter how far away they've gone in those 6 minutes. If you scan a footprint, you can attach the Wingcam to them, and there's literally nothing they can do about that. As mentioned, Nox could make it so you wouldn't ping them on the map while his ultimate was active, but they would still be able to look at the camera over his shoulder. On top of that, you can also do the exact same thing for opened containers. So if a player opens a box to search it for loot, or opens a player box or a killed bot box, if they've opened that, it doesn't matter if they've taken anything from it, it doesn't matter if they even search the items properly, if they just open it for a split second and close it again, then they've left their trace on that box. And unlike footprints, there is no expiration timer on these. If you search a box at the start of the game, a player could come over and find that 20 minutes later, and it would still say your details on it. They'd be able to scan it, find out if you're still in the game, how far away you are, what armor you're wearing, your gamer tag, and they could also attach a Wingcam to you, even if you're 1,000 meters away at the other side of Lyally Grove. The timer does not run out on these. The only way it gets wiped is if someone else looks in that box instead, and then it's going to override it with their details. On top of all of that, when you scan someone by their footprint or by container, that enemy is not alerted in any way. They have no idea you're doing that. They get alerted if you attach the Wingcam, and they get alerted if you send up the bird, the Silverwing, and scan them, but they do not get alerted if you scan their footprints or if you scan them on an open container. This is always available. It's a passive. There's no recharge. You can constantly look at new footprints, containers, and scan all the time, as well as using your other abilities. And on top of that, there's literally no way to counter this. Nox's ultimate has no effect on this. If you activate Nox's ultimate and run around or walk around, you still leave footprints in exactly the same way as anybody else. Hat claws, quiet walking, or sneak walking has no effect. You still leave footprints in exactly the same way. If you crawl, if you walk slowly, you still leave footprints. And even if you walk backwards, it still leaves footprints facing in the direction of travel, so you can't even try and trick people by walking around backwards. So he's incredibly broken to play against as a solo player, especially. There's basically no counter and you just have to go and extract. You can try and run around and confuse them with weird footprint trails. You can try and double back and go in a different direction after the Wingcam is finished to send them in the wrong direction. And you can play as Nox, so you can very slightly mitigate some of the abilities, but whatever you choose to do, eventually they will find you, especially if you stay still for longer than 30 seconds. What do I think would be more balanced for Raptor? Personally, I would make Silverwing have to recharge at the start of the round, so you can't just send it up straight away. And I would also make it so its cooldown didn't start until you finish the previous one. So when you finish a drone, then you have to wait longer for the next one to be available. I'd reduce the footstep tracker expiration to maybe 2 minutes maximum, and probably similar for containers, maybe a little longer. And also make Hatclaw's sneak and Nox's ultimate hide footsteps, and maybe even crawling generally as well. I'd put a max range on the Wingcam of perhaps 200 meters, and also make it completely ineffective against Nox during his ultimate, and I'd make the EMP duration shorter and not be able to penetrate solid cover as effectively or have a smaller area of effect. Other than that though, I think he's pretty well balanced.